Hello and welcome to DanWhiteBooks, the book review channel where we discuss all things books for those who do read and those who don't. Today I'll be reviewing a hugely popular book released back in 2003. It's a book that is not for the faint of heart and plays on the emotions like a bow on a string. My friends, welcome again, and today I'll be reviewing The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. The Kite Runner is a heart-wrenching tale of forgiveness, redemption, and self-sacrifice in the face of what is moral and what is just. It's about doing the right thing for those and others around you, and author Khaled does a fantastic job in spinning a tale to suit these themes and even to make one reflect on their own choices throughout life. The story tells the life of a boy named Amir from his early childhood all the way into his adult years. He grows up in Afghanistan in the year 1974. It's a country we are all too familiar with in this modern world, for better or worse. However, the picture you may paint now is completely different to how it was in the 1970s. Amir is raised as a single child by his wealthy father. It is made clear from the start that his mother sadly died during his conception. Both Amir and his father are very close to the servants who work in the house. One is a man of middle age and the other is his son, named Hassan. The start of this book details the journey these two boys go through in childhood and the prejudices faced by Hassan, who is looked down upon for the fact that he is a Hazara. Put simply, he is someone of a different race. The book details beautiful tales between these two boys, but as much as there is beauty, there is also despair. Amir can't help but shake his jealousy, and decisions made when younger will haunt him for the rest of his life, decisions which later set the stage for the second part of the novel. It's in this later half of the book that Amir seeks redemption for actions made in his past, and it is within these later pages that an already good book becomes something quite sublime. This book, put simply, does what any great book should do. It puts you into another world, and it does so in a manner that, despite often being sad in nature, it's just one you can't leave. It details the worst in the world and attempts to seek resolve in the good, but it's not often the case that it finds it. It's a brutally true depiction of suffering without acceptable cause, and in this sense it mirrors the unfair harm of innocent lives at the hands of others in our own waking world. The light in the dark throughout all of this is the central character whom, after living the easy life, is called upon to put right the moral failings in his past. This is a story which I of course will not spoil, but it is one I would deem essential to those interested in reading. Hosseini crafts memorable characters throughout this book in a culture so alien to my own but fascinating and welcoming nonetheless. This book had my eyes pinned to the page in spite of what's going on. There is something rather magical in holding a reader's attention even in the darker tales. You find yourself rooting for the characters and are invested in such a way that you start to feel your own emotions in regards to the story, and it's when we get to these kind of boundaries that we're really talking about a fantastic book. You're scared to read on, but you must press forward. You not only feel happiness, but sadness and everything in and out between. To have such a power of written word is a claim few authors can state, yet with this book, I felt emotions high and emotions low, and the experience was definitely something that will stay with me for some time. Beyond the story, you learn of a country divided, split and ripped apart. You learn of a life lost for thousands and thousands of people and become more informed of situations you likely never even considered. You live a life through another's eyes and get a taste of the sadistic nature of crimes, perhaps, and sadly, perhaps still most likely committed today in certain parts of the world. No doubt you get a dose of fear for those who face these men, who face the hand that can so easily take away, and you gain a brutal understanding of prejudice and racism at the hands of evil men, to feel at least one comfort in the person trying to stand up for it, if against unfathomable odds. So as you may gather, this book was something of an exceptional read for me. I had heard about it before. I'd never expected it to be what it was. To be honest, with most of these really popular books, I don't tend to actually read a lot into them. I like to let them surprise me, so I came into this blind like I do on most books. It's heartbreaking, heart-stopping, a wonderful piece of literature that has so many great interludes, many unexpected twists and turns, and a great deal of immersion in the world it portrays and the culture. It's not an easy read if you're going to be quite emotionally impacted by books, and this is certainly the one to do it. It may make you quite sad in parts. It's I hate to use the phrase an emotional roller coaster. If ever there was one, it's going to take you up, bring you down, put you all over the place, but it's so well crafted and so engaging despite all these turbulent emotions that it is quite exceptional. So with all this in mind, the Kite Runner from me scores a 96 out of 100 and was a treasure to read. A book that is touching and disturbing, but nothing short of outstanding. My friends, I would recommend you get this book. It is it's quite amazing, to be honest, and the author has written more books since that I've seen. I've actually had a little look at the reviews trending on Amazon, and they are pretty high as well. So I will probably be reading them as well. This was quite an amazing read, especially as I came in. So I like to be surprised. I knew it was a good book. I knew it was quite sad, but didn't know much else about it. But yeah, I was thoroughly impressed by this. So I would definitely recommend, if you'd like to buy this book, there will be a link below which will support the channel. That will take you over to Amazon. You'll be able to buy the book. I thank you so much for watching, of course. I'm sorry I've been a little bit longer with this one. I was meant to do this a few days ago, but I've gotten caught up in life as we do. But yeah, certainly buy this book if you enjoy reading. If you don't, it's got all the characteristics of a great book. I've actually found it hard to review because I didn't really have much bad to say about it. It is honest. It's not a flowery, sugar-coated book, and sometimes I like those that are just honest and upfront. And yeah, it is very sad in parts, but absolutely amazing to read, and I will certainly treasure it. If you enjoyed this book review, please have a look at my other book reviews. I'm reviewing books every week or so, and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if you have any suggestions for me to read, put a little a comment below and I will get around to them, certainly. If you'd like to see what I'm reading, you can find me on Goodreads. And thank you very much for watching. Please keep safe out there, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.